Thank you all, gentlemen, for being here. I am going to enjoy the chance I have to. Before we do that, though, let me just uh, use this opportunity to take a trip down. Has already launched two prior films as part of their campaign, Shaving Stereotype. Welcome back, gentlemen. Yes, it made perfect sense for you to go there and see it. I got a sneak peek of it yesterday, so I already saw it. Prashant, wonderful. As you can see, the reaction already, like my hair stood watching the film even last night and today. So congratulations! It's extra meaningful, being hearing it from your voice, you featuring in the film, and of course, what you're doing is phenomenal. But we're going to hear about that. I think that since they just watched it, it would be lovely to hear what their reaction was. Let's start with you, Sonu. What did you think about the film you just saw?
Hi, good afternoon. First of all, thank you so much for having us, and it's magical. Prashant and we connected. I think last year, Prashant. Yeah. So, and we have also done a couple of things together, but it's always a proud moment to see someone changing gears and making something special, bringing a smile on an unknown face. I always believe it's very, very special, and Prashant has been doing that phenomenally well. And, he's an engineer, and I'm also an engineer. And I also switched my gears from an engineer to an actor and to whatever I'm doing today. And it's so fruitful that sometimes you don't plan in life, but the experiences that face every single day, that maneuver you to do whatever you're doing, and we are learning every single day. And I always believe that it's not just what we are doing, but I think people who need us, their blessings, their wishes are guiding us to do what we always wanted to do. And those still miles to go, but the journey is on, and I'm glad to be a part of this special journey.
Wow, lovely. And every step counts. You're already doing amazing work. There's a reason it's the three of you here today. So it's an absolute honor for us to collaborate with you in getting this message out. Thank you so much for that, Sonu. We all feel the same way about the film. Chetan, let's hear from you. You just saw the film.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, big congrats, well done. And we need more Prashants in India. And we know if there is, it's always nice to do things for society, but if there is one society which needs a lot of help, it is India. We are still a very big country, still upcoming, still developing, and there's a lot of sections and sections of people who need a lot of help. So whenever someone educated, whenever someone with a lot of options to um, personally gain tries to do something different, it has to be lauded, it has to be celebrated. I think um, it's very nice that Gillette is recognizing this, giving it this platform. I feel little small sitting next to these two big guys. I remember Sonu now. I used to remember him in Dabang. Of course, everybody remembers you from that. But I never thought the defining moment when I think of you now is you banging the bus and saying chalo 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 chalo. You
Wow.
know, in that. So this stupid COVID may be gone. I don't know what is happening with it right now. But we will never forget as a country what you did at that time. To give little bit of hope, it's like everything was going wrong and Sonu was there doing banging the bus. Chalo chalo. वो bus का banging रहेगा, huh? That never changes in India. No matter how much technology 4G we have to bang the bus. Chalo chalo chalo, And so I think that's really good. And I think engineers in India at least they do anything but engineering. So that is now well established. Engineering is only a way to say ki he's I guess somewhat capable or smart, or maybe to get married it helps to be engineer. I don't know. But people don't do engineering like that typical engineering after engineering, which is fine because India needs everything. I think you need people who contribute, and it's really nice you're doing this. And I think I have now known a lot of people from different fields. Some of my batchmates are founders of unicorns. Nowadays, though, if you are from IIT, if you don't have a unicorn, what have you done in life? I'm like an unicorn. So, but can I tell you something? I have seen unhappy billionaires. I'm genuinely telling you, I've seen billionaires who are unhappy. And it's really baffling, right? In a country like India, you think once you have infinite money, $1 billion is a lot of money, right? I think if you're careful, you can survive, just a little bit. Billion should be okay. But you feel like when you have so much money, why would you be unhappy? Like, I'm not even saying they're not happy, they're unhappy. And I think that's because of this thing that without purpose, uh, life can't be just about material wealth and just enjoying more and more luxury. How much luxury will you enjoy? Like rolling, people think you have aim of life is to make money, then roll in silk sheets and eat grapes. That's what we think, right? We all come from middle class. We think one day we'll get rich, then we'll lie down on silk sheets or satin sheets, we'll roll around in bed and we'll eat grapes. That's what I used to think life's ultimate goal is. But firstly, silk sheets are very uncomfortable. Cotton is better. Secondly, how many grapes can you eat? Try having half a kilo of grapes and you are done with grapes for a very long time. So it's not it. That's not it. There is more to human beings, and I think that that is purpose. And I think what we are seeing today is somebody who very early found purpose. And I think Gillette is celebrating that. It's great. That we have a few brands from men also. It's nice. Normally, most of the marketing efforts are directed towards women because women are actually, honestly, more loyal to brands, I think. But we like Gillette. Gillette ke bina guzara nahi hai. And it's nice that they also recognize us. And although they do have some products for women, I've
They
seen.
do, they
Yeah,
do.
they do, right?
And I, before they said it was for women, I was jumping on it and using it anyway.
They use it anyway, and like I have had guys who say that their girlfriends they take their, razors and all sometimes. So because the products are
And
very
they're
good.
gels for our humidity, heat,
Ye-
and everything.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. See, cross purpose,
We're
but
living
yeah.
in a gender neutral environment right
Definitely.
now,
But
Chetan.
jokes
So,
apart, these guys are role models, and I'm very lucky to just be sharing the stage with them and celebrating them. So I want to thank you both personally on behalf of me and my country.
Thank you so much, चेतन, for your kind words. अब चेतन बता रहा ना कि बसों को बैंक करना बड़ा important था, लेकिन उन बसों में दुआएं बसती थी बॉस. So that was more special.
so well said about purpose. I mean, that is literally the crux and the core of this conversation and what Gillette is trying to get behind. Now, we would love to hear from you, Prashant. This was a very moving film. You've been part of it. It's narrated from your point of view. What does it feel like to be? Did you feel represented aptly? For this film to be made, and what was the experience like?
Every moment I see those clips, I feel like it's not me, it's somebody else. Because I see that the entire journey that I've been through is portrayed in a very well manner that, okay, everything was exactly the same that I've gone through. More important when Chetan sir were talking about purpose. Yes, it's very important. And I was lucky enough to find that purpose at early stage because there was certainly a message that I saw whenever we see somebody or meet somebody. I think there is a reason behind it. It's never happened like you are going to meet somebody without any reason. So whenever you see something that's happening around you, like Sonu sir did when he found during the COVID, he could have the option like he can just help some people and go away, right? But he found that message, okay, he need to help them. So certainly whatever we see around is giving some meaning, and we should understand that, okay, we have to take this responsibility to change. And I figure out those things when I saw that kid with missing limbs, and that was really different for me, and it entirely changed my life. But more important, it was education. I was never against education. I was more important for me. It's like schooling is something which doesn't make you educated. It's all about You're educated when you believe in the change or you're looking for the change. Going to school doesn't make you educated. It's all about how you're using your education to bring a, a change in someone's life. And it's not about that I did something which was different. I still feel that it's a very small journey. There are a lot of things that I need to do, and we are actually working on a lot of stuff. And now it's not just me. These are the people who are sitting in front row. My team, like they do a lot of thing, and I'm just want to say everyone to clap for them. Like I'm nothing. Like for me, my team is everything. I'm complete with them, and I'm really happy to get this stage through Gillette because I remember one incident which is regarding Chetan sir. So during my struggling days, I was like, I need to tell my story to somebody, and he should tell to someone else or the entire world. And then during that days, we used to Google out, okay, find some email address or somebody. So I got on Google his email address, which was fake. Uh, so somebody put fake email address of Chetan Bhagat, but at that time, this 2 states was on a peak, and I thought, okay, I'll write to Chetan sir about my story, how I struggled, and I actually sent my story on an email, and then I later on I realized that it was a fake email address, but how things move is never expected, because and I feel then it's really worthy chasing your dreams because it's going to happen and he's sitting near me and like this is a dream. So
Now I'll give you my real email address, and I will take your real email address also.
thank you. And when it comes to Sonu sir, I just have a small thing to tell to everyone. Nobody knows about it. So during the second wave, there was a friend whose grandmother was really in bad situation because of COVID, and what happened? Nobody was giving beds, and I was like, he was continuously calling me and saying like, can you help me out? Can you help me out? And I was like, I'm not in that place where I was sitting in Pune, he was in Nagpur. What should I do? And I thought to call him. And I called him. I explained the entire situation. Like it was 8 in the night. And till 1 o'clock in the night, she got the bed. And she's alive just because of him.
Wow.
So I feel I'm really grateful and blessed to be with these people and share the stage. And thanks to Gillette for making it happen for me. Thank you.
Amazing. And we're getting a lot of, we're unearthing a lot of other stories and a lot of other experiences that you three have shared. And it's frankly really, really uh, just moving me from within. Like I'm listening to it and I'm forgetting that I'm actually here to facilitate some more conversation. I'm getting so lost in it and I'm asking myself a whole lot of questions, as I'm sure the audience is as well. Absolutely wonderful. The collaboration throwing back gratitude to your team because we can't function alone, and at the same time the collaboration of Gillette with men like yourselves is where the reach of that message and that inspiration then becomes that much higher. So it all kind of comes together. I love that every single moment in our lives, I mean, different things in our lives come our way for a reason, and then we marry what we do, what our capabilities are, our skills are, with what that purpose is, and then amazing things happen. So one more round of applause for all that they have so graciously shared. But to go back to something that Sonu, you said earlier, you said that you also were going down a certain route when it came to education and qualifications, and then you did a full digression of route. So there was that moment where you said, and the same for you, Chetan, as well. There was that moment where you decided, this is what I want to do, and it is not what I have, let's say, invested in terms of a career path, or in terms of, or maybe you were just going with the flow, but that moment is what I want you to trace for me one by one. Sonu, let's start with you. The moment you said, okay, this is what I want to do. What was that moment like? What led to it?
I think we experience that moment every single day with all what we do. And I remember when I was doing my engineering, and I thought I'll finish my studies, go back to Punjab, Moga, take care of my father's shop, and you know, live in Punjab. But then you realize that you want to do something else, and I packed my bags, came to Delhi, and then to Bombay. Never knew a single soul, but had faith that things will happen. Just I have to survive. I have to stay there and wait for my day. And finally, it happened. And then, like I said, why experience every day? How you get connected with people, how they teach you what you want to do, how you want to do, and what exactly has to be done. We started our you know this relief thing with Assam floods that are happening. So I just want to share a very small moment. So when I got a call from the CM office that whatever you want to do, and you can send your stuff. So I said, I don't belong to that family of writing a check and sending that, okay, my job is done. I want to have that personal touch. So I started getting connected with all those people in Silchar and all those Morigaon in Assam, that how we can reach out to them. And in 2.5 hours, we are connected to 18 districts where people are ready to give supplies to all the affected areas. And now, before I actually entered this venue, I was coordinating with the stuff, and in all those 18 districts, stuff is going. So I don't know those people there. I haven't met them. So in just 2.5 hours, all the dots got connected. So the moral of the story is that you don't have to plan things in life. You just have to take that one step forward, and then God will guide you right and will put you to the people who will actually give you the direction of life. So I think that's what we experience every
Amazing.
day, and I still want to learn every single day.
It's absolutely amazing. I love what you said about. I think it's also coming from pure intention. It's pretty much written on all your faces that you all operate from that pure intention, and then followed with action. Pick up the phone, make the call, do the time. A lot of people are worried about how much they'll get sucked into the sea of expectation. Sometimes that anticipation daunts us. I know that happens with me. I'm being honest. I'm like, then what will happen, and then what will be expected? But to just fearlessly and very genuinely take that step forward is when the magic happens, and it clearly has happened for all of you all. Chetan, I'd love to hear from you also. One, what was that moment you decided to shift gears, and then thereafter how things fell into place, didn't fall into place, challenges?
Yeah, I don't think there was this one moment, because I think I'm not as clear, and like that this is what I want to do, like Sonu is or Prashant is. I was always confused, and I was like, that whole middle class background thing ki bank ki naukri kaun. I mean, I worked. Firstly, I didn't straight away go after engineering. I did my studies and I worked in a bank because that's what I felt everybody should do. And then also I wanted to write, I wanted to get into something else, but I was very scared to make the leap. So that moment must have come many times that I was not able to make the leap. And when you are doing something in life you don't want to do, and especially when it's something like work, it's not like one thing 10 minutes a day, it's like your life, and you actually want to do something else. You obviously won't be very happy, and your stress levels will shoot up. You may not even know, like it's not like stress like like there's some on high alert, but there's a slow stress that has come into your life because you don't want to do it, but you're doing it. And if you do it for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, those that stress levels will, I mean, there is now a lot of studies, medical studies shown that your cortisol levels go up, and cortisol is something which will reduce your immunity, harm a lot of your good hormones, do a lot of bad things to you. You will have ailments, you will have gain. And that was happening to me. I was never happy. I was never like I would never be cheerful, this like that. And I remember I was in a bank one day, and I was just bored, and I just felt like, how do I excite myself? And there were a few people in the bank who used to go on cigarette breaks. niche. Like I was in Fort in Deutsche Bank, and they would just go and smoke. And obviously, I don't smoke. And but one day I just felt, chalo, I'll also go smoking with them. Why? Because A, I didn't like what I was doing, and B, I was stressed. And I said, okay, maybe I should smoke to reduce my stress. Whereas that stress, that was not the solution. That will actually make things worse. The solution was, this is not what I want to be doing. I want to do something else in life. And I think that day I realized that I have never craved cigarettes in my life, and I now want it to feel better, whereas the root problem is something else. I'm trying some symptomatic relief with some another poison, and I think that's when I felt that I'm on the wrong path. This is not right, and I would in fact urge people. I mean, this is all sounds like they're doing it for others, but they're doing it for themselves too, because if you don't have congruence of what you want to do in life versus what you are doing, stress will like shoot up. And stress is one of the worst things. uh, uh, I'm sure Sonu can tell you, in physical fitness, if you work out but if you are stressed, you will not get the gains. There is no gains. The gains are gone. If you don't sleep properly, your gains are gone. You could keep lifting weights all day, you will not gain muscle if you don't have. That's what. So, and it applies to everything, and that is why I find a lot of my batchmates, they have backaches and all kinds of problems people have. And you people think this is part of growing older, part of middle age, part of 30s 40s, but that's not true. It's mainly when you are stressed, and you have to be very honest with yourself. And I realized this is not helping me. This job pays a lot, very nice business card, very nice brand, very nice perks, but I feel like smoking and I feel like doing all these negative things. No. So you can say that might be one of the moments where I felt like, nahi yaar, ye kahin galat raste pe gaadi ja rahi hai meri. So I think, yeah, that's when I
Strong
said,
indicator of going down a path that was not,
yeah,
yeah, giving you that innate joy. But again, I love what you said about, you know, it's selfless, but it's also self care to do what you love, because you are then thriving at your best. It's God given gifts, whatever you want to call it, talent, skill, that's being used for the right purpose. And so it's just the sweet spot of it coming together. Um, so no, I would like to know that you know, when you did make this change and you said you came to Delhi and then you came to Bombay and you didn't know anyone, so there must have been some challenges, some fears. There must have been points where you questioned, is this the right, have I made the right decision? It's not as easy as I packed my bags and then I became a star. We know what happened, we know, we've seen you. But what were those moments of vulnerability? Because Gillette is also having those conversations about men who not always, it's not always panning out. We are seeing the result of three successful endeavors, but there were those moments, right, of fear. Was there fear?
Uh, there was fear, but again, there was hope. There was a trust that things will happen. I remember when I came to Mumbai and I was moving from one office to other, especially at the time famous studios and Everest building where all these advertising offices were there. So I used to distribute pictures from one office to other. And I remember when I entered the very first office, so there was this girl sitting at the desk and she said, she was doing some work, she said, "Apni picture rakh dijiye aap apni." So I kept my pictures and I said, "Yeah, isne to dekha hi nahi yaar." I was body fit t-shirt and all. Said, and I thought that when I'll come to Bombay, someone will say, "Hey, yaar, ये actor type लगता है, इसको यार काम दे देते हैं." But it never happened. He said, मैं पहले office में गया हूँ and no one gave a second look. So I said, okay, ma'am. I kept my pictures and there's another office, famous studios. There's all these offices one after.
Right.
So I went to the next office. I said, no, I need to break some conversation. So I said, can I have a glass of water, please? They said, yeah, please, a glass of water. They offered. They looked at me and all. They said, how's the work happening? All, the work is happening good and all. I said, these are the pictures. Do let me know. So there's a bit of conversation we
Interaction.
had. And I ended up having 45, 50 glass of waters after one of it. So every glass of water, please. And also they'll have a look, अरे यार शायद कुछ दे दे यार, इसको काम दे देते हैं. So, after 3.5 years, I got my actually first break. And I was doing an ad. When I landed on the set, I thought, I'm doing this main ad and, I'm the main guy. But there were another 15, 20 another people around me. He said, "यार इतने लोग क्या कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे?" And when I shot that ad, I was not seen also in that ad. I was somewhere out focus. And मैं कहा यार जिंदगी बड़ी मुश्किल है. But I think this is how the life has to be, and I have to make it happen. But never ever in my life, I promise. You know, when a lot of people who come to Mumbai and they ask me कि आपको कभी लगा कि you know नहीं होगा? Never ever for a moment I thought that it won't happen. I knew it'll happen. It was just how long I can survive. And even people who come to Mumbai always tell them success is how long you can hold your breath underwater. When your time comes, just come up and say, "Yes, present, ma'am, I am there."
Wow. I wish I heard that earlier.
Yeah,
But
abhi bhi,
never too late, right?
and now whenever I see a lot of people on a set, or they come to my house, they said sir कुछ करवा दो sir, 10 महीने हो गया बॉम्बे आए को. तो मैं बोला कि मुझे 3.5 साल लगे थे और थोड़ा सा और रुक जा. So I think this is how life is, and we just have to keep on waiting for the right moment, and that's what we all do.
And never lose hope. Very, very nice. We're so glad that you stuck it out past the 3 years, 3.5 years. We're happy that Chetan is not standing outside some office smoking, and we're so happy that Prashant has taken a call to go after and literally brought us all in this room here together. We are going to take a short break to play the film again, Prashant, because the audience liked it so much they want to see it again and let it sink in. You know how you have to watch things twice sometimes to pick up on the things you missed the first time. So but we are going to continue this chat. Am I right? We're going to continue this chat. Please don't go anywhere. Let's just watch the film again. Can maybe have the film again, please? You have been able to change a life. Giving a person a bionic arm. Did I get that right? How does that feel? Like
Uh, I
change
al-
you?
yeah, I always tell a story about a lady, because for me, I started the journey to find myself because I wasn't satisfied with the things that I was doing in my life. I always used to ask this question like, why I'm born? What is the reason why I'm doing this thing? Like why I want a big house or maybe a degree or something? Because I always saw people running somewhere, but they don't know where they are going. It's all just about everyone want this and then that, and then they don't know where they are going. And for me, because even in my family, I have people who are believing in that place where they feel it's all about getting a good job, right? But for me, I always wanted to search that the reason why I'm here. And the moment I met this lady who came to us and like for getting this prosthetic arm, she has a very different story. She came to us and she got gangrene actually, and just because of gangrene, her first fingers were cut from her lower limb. Then it didn't stop. Then they have to cut her leg from like below her knee, and certainly like this, they amputated her 14 times from her leg to her arm. And the moment she came, she was like uh, different hope in her eyes, and I was like feeling it. And when we gave the arm, she started crying, and I was like, really, I'm not getting what happened. She didn't like the hand award. So I actually asked her, what happened? Do you like it, or you didn't like it? She was just looking toward the arm, and she said, अब मैं अपने बेटी के बाल बनाऊंगी. So that was the thing that changed my entire life, because I realized it's not about we all think about taking things with us, but it's not about you cannot take anything the day you are going to die, right? You have to keep everything. Nobody understands this philosophy, uh, but it's all about giving back. What you give back makes a lot of difference. More important, this was not so easy for me. Whenever I see this, every single thing, I remind a lot of people came to me and said like, "Hey Einstein," and a lot of things where they make joke of you. I still remember when I was like struggling in I was like at my brother's house where there are a lot of other bachelors who were staying, and his friends were used to tell me, "अरे ये देख हम क्या कर रहे हैं? We are doing working in this corporate and that." I'm not going to take this corporate name. So he actually mentioned one corporate. So this is very big corporate. I'm working in it, and I was like, every time I used to feel that I took something wrong or what, because I was just struggling. I was getting nothing out of it, and one day, like I never lose hope that I have to. I'm not going to do this and that. So one day, what happened in 2018? I got a award. It's a social innovation award in 2018. So this corporate actually posted a bigger picture of me on their portal. So whenever some employee opened their laptops, they will see first my photo, and then they can go in. Now this guy was actually working in the same corporate.
Sweet.
So he called me and say, "देख मैंने तेको बोला था ना तू कुछ करेगा." And yes, it was hard because people first say something different, which is really hard to resolve. There are a lot of other moments where I left things. I was getting a really good job, and I left it because I was not satisfied with that. I don't want this thing just for money, and I actually left one big job, and that was a big career opportunity for me, because of which my parents got really upset. And my parents actually said, "Now you have to leave this house. You can't live here because we are trying to make things good for you, and you are actually just quitting things." So I started working on making this prosthetic arm and all. And those people who were in the same batch who got the job, they were calling me and they said, like, "You're an idiot. We got this job, and look what is our package." And I was like thinking for a moment, am I regretting those things, or am I sorry for that? And the second moment I said, no, I'm not. And after 6 months, this same guy called me. I was in Pune, and this is a very funny incident. So he called me and said, like, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm Pune." And then he asked, like, "Where exactly in Pune?" So he said, like, I said, actually, inside some campus. And so what you're doing here? So I said, I came to meet the CEO of this company. So he was like, "Oh, I work in this company." So things change. People call you. Your dreams change. Your life in a different way. It's all about chasing them. It's never going to be easy, but yes, it's worth chasing your dreams. So yeah, that's the thing that I feel.
It's lovely to hear the trajectory, right? Because we often hear about the end result, and when you see how those little steps along the way could have, you literally, Prashant, answered two of the questions I was going to ask, which I'm not going to ask right now. One was, do you ever have a moment where you miss your 9 to 5 job? The second question was about comparison, peer pressure, and he pretty much answered that. There were those moments, there were those obstacles, there were those, seconds where you question because you have no idea where it's going until it actually happens. He's sitting here today, but at that moment, I'm sure you didn't know. So sticking to the plot, being absolutely sure about what you want to do, and purity of intent and then action is where the sweet spot is. It really is a privilege from me, and I think I speak for everyone, to be seated here with all three of you. Prashant, particularly today, because it's your day, and Gillette is backing everything that you stand for. We need more individuals like this who champion change in society. One more round of applause for all three gentlemen on stage. At this point, I would like to, invite someone else who's also very special, Mr. Datta Ram, an amputee who has received the prosthetic arm from Prashant's Inali Foundation. He would like to share how this changed his life, and I'm sure we all want to hear from him. So, may I invite on stage? Round of applause to welcome him, please. Have a seat, sir. So please share with us your feelings and experience.
बोलिए सर। हेलो, मैं सर दत्ता कोहली, मुझे दत्ताराम भोईर मेरा नाम है और पिछले 50 से भी ज़्यादा साल हुए मैं बम्बई में स्ट्रगल कर रहा हूँ म्यूजिक डायरेक्शन के लिए। और म्यूजिक डायरेक्शन के लिए स्ट्रगल करते करते ऐसा दौर आया, मैं शुक्रगुजार हूँ हमारे प्यारेलाल जी के जो पिताजी थे, पिछले बाबा जी राम प्रसाद बाबा जी राम प्रसाद शर्मा, उनके पास में सीखने जाता था रोटेशन। तो मैं स्ट्रगल भी कर रहा था, तो उन्होंने मुझे सलाह दी कि इसमें कुछ होने वाला है नहीं आपका, आप स्टेज पे जाइए। तो स्टेज पे मैंने मेरा काम चालू किया और कलाकार ऑर्केस्ट्रा के नाम से मेरा बहुत बड़ा बैनर पिछले 45 साल से चल रहा है। एक बार आप राम प्रसाद जी शर्मा के लिए 2 जोरदार तालियां बजाइए कि अगर मैं स्ट्रगल करता रहता था तो अभी तक ना कोई फिल्म आती थी ना कुछ आती थी, मगर आज मेरे 5000 से भी ज़्यादा शो हो चुके हैं ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड। और उसमें से 560 शो जो एशिया का बिगेस्ट हॉल है शनमुगान हॉल, उसमें मैंने किया है और वो रिकॉर्ड अभी तक किसने टूटा नहीं है। अभी भी मेरा शो चल रहा है। मगर एक दौर ऐसा आया, आज उस दौर को 35 साल हुए। 87 में आई एम बेसिकली कोली परिवार से हूँ, मैं मछुआरी परिवार से हूँ। मेरे फादर की इच्छा थी मैं हमारा बिजनेस करूँ, मगर मुझे कलाकार बनने की हौसला था मेरा। मैं स्टेज पे आ गया, मगर वो बोट से जाते जाते मेरे को हाई टेंशन वायर का शॉक लग गया और वो हाई टेंशन वायर के रेंज में आके मेरा पूरा शरीर जल गया उसके अंदर। और वो शॉक मेरे हाथ से जाने के बाद मेरे हाथ एकदम जल गया और मुझे कुछ पता नहीं था। मैं जब हॉस्पिटल में चला गया तो वो लोग बोले कि आपको ये एम्प्यूट करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि उसमें कुछ जान आ ही नहीं रही थी। तो उसके बाद काफ़ी मैं शो करता रहा। और मुझे एक बात बड़ी फ़ख्र से कहना चाहूँगा, आज सोनू सूद जी है इधर। भविष्य में मैं ऐसा एक ग्रुप बनाना चाहता हूँ जिसमें सब हैंडीकैप हो और अच्छे लोगों का एंटरटेन करते हो और उससे एक अच्छा फंड मिलता रहे और इनाल फाउंडेशन का नाम बढ़ता रहे। वो अच्छे हैंड्स ऐसे लोगों को दे दे जिनको मैं मेरे तरफ से सिखा सकता हूँ। और एक बात मैं और एक कहना चाहूँगा, फिर एक दिन मेरे सोसाइटी के कोई लोगों ने बताया कि इनाली फाउंडेशन एक पुणे में है, वहाँ प्रशांत गाड़े सर है, वो आपको हाथ दे सकते हैं। तो मैंने प्रशांत जी को फ़ोन किया, सर मेरा ऐसा ही है, मैं कलाकार हूँ, मैं एक हाथ से बजाता हूँ, मुझे कीबोर्ड बजाने के लिए लेफ्ट हैंड का ब्लेंडर के लिए या तो कुछ नोट बजाने के लिए वो मुझे उपयोग हो सकता है, तो आप मेरे लिए कुछ करेंगे? बोले आप आइए पुणे, हम कोशिश करते हैं। और मैं उनका बहुत बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ जिन्होंने इतना बढ़िया हैंड मुझे दिया। आज मैं माइक पकड़ रहा हूँ, उससे हाथ से सबको हस्तांदोलन कर रहा हूँ। और आप कभी स्टेज पे देखेंगे तो मैं उसे हाथ से ब्लेंडर यूज करता हूँ जिससे मिंट निकलती है। तो इंशाल्लाह कभी मैं बताऊँगा, एक मौका आएगा आपको दिखाने का। मेरा 16 को वाशी में प्रोग्राम है, मौसम का एक कॉन्सेप्ट है। कभी आप टाइम मिला तो आइए देखने के लिए, आप इनवाइट है। तो वो हाथ मिलने से मेरे में और एक जोश आया और मुझे एक सपोर्ट मिला कि नहीं, मैं दोनों हाथ से कुछ कर सकता हूँ। तो मैं इस मौके पे इतना ही बताना चाहूँगा कि आदमी का हौसला अगर बुलंद हो तो वो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। मैं जब एक्सीडेंट के बाद जब एकदम हताश हो गया तो मेरी एक इच्छा थी। और एक चीज़ मैं ज़रूर कहना चाहूँगा कि जब मेरा एक्सीडेंट हुआ था वो एक्सीडेंट से पहले मैं ब्लोइंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट बजाता था, सैक्सोफोन, आपको जानता होगा। तो सैक्सोफोन के लिए 2 हाथ चाहिए। तो फिर बाद में मैंने वो ऐसे के बाद मेरा ये चेंज किया और मैं कीबोर्ड पियानो बजाने लगा, क्योंकि मैं ओनर था मेरे ग्रुप का और मुझे ज़रूरी लगी कि मेरे हाथ में प्रोग्राम होना बहुत ज़रूरी है। और उससे आज भी मैं वो प्रोग्राम कर रहा हूँ। फिर एक बार इनाली फाउंडेशन की सब टीम, जिन्होंने मुझे बहुत प्यार दिया, जो हमेशा मुझे बुलाते रहते हैं, मैं चाहता हूँ कि मेरे ही शो में आपका एक ऐसा प्रमोशन हो जाए। आइए कभी, मैं इन्वाइट करूँगा। और मेरी जो एक जिद है, मेरी जो एक तमन्ना है कि ऐसे हैंडीकैप नहीं बोलूँगा, फिजिकल चैलेंज वो कर सकते हैं। अगर मैं कर सकता हूँ तो वो भी कर सकते हैं। और इतने अच्छे प्रशांत सर अगर हमारे साथ है तो दिस स्काई द लिमिट, कुछ भी हो सकता है। धन्यवाद, मुझे आज बुला के आपने इतना अच्छा 2 बात कहने का मौका दिया।
Thank you so
सोनू सूद,
much.
आपका शुक्रगुजार। आपका शुभ नाम? चेतन जी, आप तो बहुत फेमस व्यक्ति हैं। और प्रशांत जी, आप तो है ही। आप सबका मैं शुक्रगुजार हूँ, धन्यवाद हूँ। आपने इतना अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म मुझे दिया, धन्यवाद।
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Datta Ramji. Baithiye. Uh, yeah, thank you so much to our panelists. This was a very stimulating conversation. As you know, this entire conversation has made us, each one of us, reevaluate and ask ourselves a very important question. And Prashant highlighted how introspection works. When you ask yourself, am I doing my best? Am I living my best? Am I the best version of myself? Am I bringing some kind of purpose to not just my life, but changing the lives of others? It could be the smallest things, even in our daily life, and it could be very big things like the gentleman on our stage. Once again, round of applause for our panelists and for Dattaji, Sonu Sood, Chetan Bhagat, Prashant Gade, and Mr. Dattaji. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, I know. That's more like it. Gillette's campaign, Shaving Stereotypes. This was edition 3 and it is magnificent. It is impacting the way we see society and shape society. But I would like to, before we end, just talk a little bit about how this campaign and how Gillette is engineering change in real time. Besides moving campaigns like this, Gillette has partnered with Inali Foundation to support all of Prashant's endeavors and hopes to see more and more people's lives being changed by not just Prashant's endeavors, but also to inspire a lot of the next generation men to go after their purpose, their dreams, and then see how the world can become a better place because of it and change communities. Gillette inspires, supports, and encourages young men to be their best with Gillette's longest university grooming program, Safalta Apni Muthi Mein, to bring about the best behavior in today's youth. We thank you all for being present, taking out the time to be here for this conversation. I'm sure we've left you with a lot. That brings us to the end of this very special afternoon that I am personally very excited to have been a part of. One more round of applause for our panelists for taking out the time. To our friends from the media for being here. Without you, we cannot reach as many hearts and minds. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Thank you, gentlemen.